Boys and girls, we are here. Dose, numero dos of two STPs in one night. It's been a hot minute. I'm trying to get rid of this X if you see my face come. It's been a hot minute since we've done multiple stirring the pots in one evening. But when the time calls for it, you step up to the plate and you do what you got to do. This is Stirring the Pot with Dr. Cade and our very special guest. We have a referee today, baby. Ref Jay Cruz.
How you doing? How you doing, Don?
All right. How you doing, my man?
We out here. We out here surviving.
I feel that. Surviving. It's a tough gig out there nowadays, my man. I feel surviving.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So earlier we talked to a returning guest who may come back. We don't know what the time frame is, but I was very excited, and I'm trying to keep the juices flowing because, boys and girls, we haven't had a referee on here, and again, a hot minute. There's a lot of hot minutes going around on STP, so I figured I'd kind of see. I don't know what's going on with me tonight. I got the burpees or some shit. I took a look, see, on who are some of the new faces that are out there. And I've been seeing my man Jay Cruz out there doing his thing, show after show after show, place after place after place. We've been taking the selfies, doing the Wrestle Fam thing. And hey, why not do a good start with Ref Jay Cruz? And I think we may roll this into more referees into the next few weeks oncoming. So welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time out of your life to join us, the fans. I appreciate you, my man.
Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on this third pod.
Absolutely, man. We have fun. We pull back the curtain just a little bit, if possible. We don't need to know your government name. I'm sure you're probably on the most wanted 10 list, so we don't want to get all on that shit. So we'll just keep with the Ref Jay Cruz from here on out. But boys and girls, we have a younger talent coming up right now, right in front of our eyes. I've been seeing him evolve little by little, getting better and better and better. So why don't we kind of just start, because you are a younger gentleman. How old are you, my man?
I am 21 years old. As a matter of fact, my birthday is next month.
Oh shit! All right. We can't wait to celebrate.
Yep, my birthday is on September 17th.
Oh, that could be a banger after banger after banger after banger. Yeah. I mean, I know it's kind of an odd place to start, but are you one to know? Are you known to throw a sip or two back, especially when you're coming up to your 21st birthday, my man?
Sorta.
I'm really much of a drinker. I'm more of a devil's lettuce kind of guy. So we all pick our poison, but we can't wait to celebrate birthday with Ref Jay Cruz. But so you were traveling when we first connected earlier, and then you were like, "Hey, I'm on the road still. I'm gonna get to the facility where I train at and such. So why don't we kind of jump right into there? Where are you training at? Where'd you start? And we'll kind of roll from there, and then just take the roller coaster with us as we go along."
So originally, I did start off training as a wrestler.
Oh.
And yep, I started off training as a wrestler, and I was doing a good amount of training as a wrestler for like a good couple of weeks, and then I came into a conclusion because I saw a couple other referees that I was close with, like started getting recognized as a referee, and then I went to a couple of shows, and I was like, wait, maybe being a referee could be something helpful in my look at being as a wrestler, because being a referee, you can learn the insides and out of the ring of how the ring works as a referee. So then when you become that wrestler, everything kind of clicks more easier because you know what's how everything works.
Well, very well said, because there are many a wrestler, even in our area, that have been a referee, because you get a different insight from being in that ring as a referee and seeing this whole thing unfold in front of you. So very well said, my man. You seem to be taking all of this very seriously. So where are you training right now?
I trained in Holyoke under technically Kevin Landry and Chris Falcone, Chris
Oh,
Camaro.
okay,
Yep.
nice. I wasn't sure, and I haven't heard specifically when we say which facility you're coming from. Kevin Landry's combine is not one that comes out much on STP. I have gone to Landry and done interviews with the students some years ago in their old facility. So this is actually really cool that you said Landry's combine and under the tutelage of Chris Falcone, because I have
Yep.
not ever met Chris until previous years, post COVID, I want to say. I can't remember exactly, but I want to say around post COVID. And I never knew him as Chris Camaro. I only knew him as Falcone. So this guy had a couple personas that I wasn't even aware of. So as I started digging, I was like, my guy is a soccer player? What was going
Yeah.
So great talent, has a lot of knowledge to pass down to students. And I know he has been a trainer for a while. So that's very cool to hear.
He's a
Kevin,
very good teacher. He's honest with you. That's what I like about him. He's honest with you.
yes. Uh, Honesty is the best policy when you are training the young talent upcoming, because if you don't give them good feedback and bad feedback, you're not going to get molded into that athlete that you're trying to get to, you know?
Yep.
So you were wrestling at the combine at first and went into referee?
Yes, I was just doing training, no matches, none of that, just training. And
Okay.
then I ended up like going. I was so like obviously I was still like a fan while I was training, so I was going to shows, sitting in the audience, watching the show, and then watching some of my friends be a referee kind of gave me that idea, like, oh, maybe I could do this too. So why not give it a shot?
Nice. At this point in your young career, you, the bump card, it takes it takes a little bit less bumps off that card until later into your career, if you know you are pursuing to be a wrestler in the future. So that does kind of keep the bump card really low, if you will. Are you pursuing in the future to be a singles wrestler? Is that what this is all about?
It's a very possibility. I thought about it.
Okay.
So like it's a possibility that I do try to switch back over to wrestling. I
All
haven't
right.
really fully confirmed on it, like in my way of deciding if I want to go back to it or if I want to stick with refereeing.
Okay.
So I
And
do got a lot of good sleeves, good promotions under my belt as a referee, like right now. So like I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
you do. And I appreciate as a young talent that you've been spreading your wings as such, because sticking around in your local area, being comfortable with the talent you know, the talent
Oh
you're
yeah.
working with on a regular basis, that can all feel warm and cozy. But getting out of the home base and spreading your wings and having those question marks of new promotion, new promoter, new talent, never worked with anybody. That is how you really get your wheels moving here, my man. So I can appreciate
Yep.
you doing that very, very young in your tenure.
Yeah. Once I fully started, like I think I was only 20 when I fully started, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're young. Like you have a
Yeah.
really like far distance to keep going with it." And I was like, "Okay."
So at this point, how long have you been a referee? And this is a two-part question. How are you feeling as being a referee? Because you're looking good out there. And if I had to be, you know, I mean, it sounds biased, but it's really not. LIT, you guys and girls being Ref Gina as well, look absolutely fantastic in those lit purple referee shirts. So, first question, how long? And second question, how you feeling right now in this referee position?
So I think it's if I'm right, I think it's almost been a full year now that I've been doing it. Or it could be about a year now that I've been doing it. It's about between both of that. But otherwise, being a referee is like I enjoy what makes it more enjoyable to me is like interacting with fans, going to a show and seeing a fan stand up and cheer,
Yeah.
or for example, when you for your example, when seeing you in the audience when I'll do my counts and then hearing you like go back with a two, like having the fans interact with me is what makes my job as a referee more fun and makes me more confident in the ring.
Confidence, excellent word to use, because there's a lot of tools that I always talk about with the talent that it takes to get into this toolbox to make a successful singles wrestler. Just one person. How many tools does it take? So many.
A lot.
And confidence is I don't think I mean, I do, but not enough. Confidence is an extreme valuable tool in that toolbox. Getting out there, because yes, it's a performance, and you have to be on the live stage at all times in front of a crowd of people, no matter if it's 10, 15, 20, 50, 100, 300, 500, and plus.
Nope.
So getting out and doing your job as you have, I feel at this point you're doing pretty fine out there right now, my man.
It feels great. I've gotten a lot of promotions that like at my point where I'm at, like I never would have thought I've gotten at this point already. Mm-hmm. So like it feels really good.
So how is this going for Ref Jay Cruz? Because I like to ask the question of the talent. Are you finding yourself reaching out to promoters more, or are you finding that it's promoters reaching out to you more, or is it a combination of both going on right now in your career?
I would say combination of both, because there's promotions that I've seeked out to try to reach out for, to try to get involved with, and then there's promotions that have reached out to me and asked me if I'm available.
Okay. And that kind of makes your job easier, because you're like, fuck yeah, what are we talking? What's the date? What's the envelope? Yeah, let's talk business, because
Right.
That's what you're looking to do, is spread your wings, get people to see you. Not only the fans will see you and get to, hey, I remember that referee from the last X show, or you want to get the promoters and the talent to see you more, getting more reps, and be like, because this happens regularly in the industry throughout time. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, because I don't know the history of wrestling per se. But some wrestlers like to call out, I want Ref Jay Cruz. If I'm going to have a match and it's this kind of match, and we've been building this story for about a year now, I want my guy, Jay Cruz. I know it happens in our local scene. I know it happens in modern wrestling. Are you finding, because I'm on the topic of the reps and your peers seeing you more often, are you finding yet anybody that is like, hey, Jay Cruz, I got you for my match? You finding anything like that yet in your career?
Yeah, actually, yeah. There's a lot of wrestlers that will come up to me after their match and like compliment me and be like, "Oh, like I'm proud of you for how far you came," like because I've worked with them at other shows. So like a lot of them will like ask me like, "Oh, hey, are you working this show?" And they'll be like, "Okay, cool. I'm probably gonna want to use you as my referee."
Yes. So you're already making those connections, and that's what we're talking about, man. Boys and girls, we talk about how hard it is to be a successful individual singles wrestler. The grind is it's just insane. Same thing for referees, ring announcers, and such, and the rest of the village that it takes to create these events that we go to see, pay money, have a good time, get lost for a little bit in this world of wrestling for about 2-3 hours or so. And it's the same as we are talking to one of our local referees right now, doing the drives, all of this stuff. Are you setting up the ring? Because I know a lot of the younger talent, they want to help out. What can I do for you? What can I do for the show? How can I help? What are my services, and such? Are you finding yourself getting knowledge, because that's what you want to do while you're spreading to
Right.
these different promotions and making these connections, my man, getting to know how to build a ring in case those situations arise and be like, I've done a ring 1,000 times. I'm your man. Are you finding yourself in these situations right now?
There are a lot of promotions that I do help out with setting up the ring in the beginning of the show and taking it down. So like I got some of the knowledge of like what to do and how to put a ring together. I'm not gonna say I got it all like locked in perfectly. Like, but
Yeah.
like in the beginning I got it like all locked down.
Yeah. Like anything else, the more repetitions you do it, it just starts coming naturally for you.
Hmm.
Uh, I see a lot of the younger wrestlers in the promotions that do the ring and are the ring generals and be like, we got to turn out a
Yep.
few more. You guys this, you guys that, blah, blah, blah. And they get the feel for what their promotion, their promoter, the bookers and such, their bosses, if you will, are looking for. They know that feel. So they're looking for a specific feel. Because you want to get multifaceted in the industry. It's an ongoing thing, and I correlate music and wrestling. I play guitar. The neck of the
Mhm.
guitar endless. It's got like infinity. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same thing with wrestling. There's like endless knowledge that you can soak in. So taking a little of this, taking a little of that, and by the time you take all of these little pieces and you start building yourself, we may talk on SCP in another year down the road, and it may be a
Maybe.
total different career for
Yep.
one Ref Jay.
It could be.
So, are you looking to do this long term, or is it something that some may say a hobby, or I do it for the weekends, and or are you looking to get to the dub in the near, in the future, and make this a career, a livelihood for one Ref J Cruz?
So I'll start it off with pretty much wrestling is a dream. It's been a dream of mine since I was a little kid. Like I grew up pretty much admiring wrestlers like as role models. Like growing up, obviously I was a smaller kid growing up for a lot of being around a lot of taller people. So my idol growing up was Rey Mysterio because
Okay.
he was the smaller dude in the ring. I dressed up like him. I would get like the skin thingies that cover my arms with his tattoos and stuff. I would draw on shirts, put to have the cross on my chest. Like I did all the stuff like that to try to be like him. So wrestling was always a dream of mine. So like once I got the opportunity to step my foot into the doors and get the opportunity to do it, there really was no hesitation. Like it was like I want this. This is what I want to do.
All right. So looking long term, um, as we've been talking, you use the word honest with one Chris Falcone. That brings me to a question. I used to go to Kevin Landry's combine ritually for carry to 3 minus 14 divided by 32. I've been to every single shut up and wrestle except for 2. We were up to 27. And furthermore, I used to produce the graphics and
Oh,
help the booker, if you will.
okay.
Now, that brings me to a question, because there is one guy that was very frequent at said shut up and wrestles. One Honest Abe, and I love to call him Dishonest Abe. Um, he's still a part of one Landry's combine over there, is he not, sir?
Um, I think he is. I think he is. When I'm around here, I kind of like just kind of focus on being in the ring, trying to work on my refereeing stuff and helping the other referees that are here.
Okay.
So like trying to doing that. So most of the time I think he's just usually chilling with all the other guys if he is here.
Okay. So you don't see him, you don't hear him. What a pleasure
I
that must
usually.
be. Oh man, that's amazing. I wish I couldn't hear or see him when he comes out through those curtains. Oh my goodness, what a pleasure that's got to be. Um, now you're speaking of other referees and working with your peers, learning with your peers, helping your peers. What other referees are we talking? Could you maybe give us a little tidbit, maybe even one or two that are training over there? Anybody that we know or that are kind of upcoming right now?
So so I'm not gonna really give any exclusive on any of these students just yet. We're gonna still let them train and let them enviro out, build, grow a little bit, and then
Okay.
we'll get them out there. But right now, the two people the two people that were helping them is me and Major, Ref Major.
Okay. Oh, we love us some Ref Major. I don't get to see him very often, but when I do, we give him big hugs. I love me some Ref Major.
Ref
He
Major is
actually,
one of my very close friends. Ref
yeah.
Major and me are very close friends. Yes.
Oh, well, then that makes sense because he shared the Stir in the Pot post that I made, and I felt the
Mm-hmm.
love. I was like, him and Ref Jay Cruz must have a little something going on. So that's cool to hear. Very,
Me and
very
him
cool.
me and him started together. Like when I was training, Major kind of was, well, I was already training before Major started training, but like Major came along and kind of started training at that point too. So at a certain point I started to train with Major.
Oh, all right. Now, boys and girls, it's all starting to come together because new referees on the scene. I have met them. I know them by name, but we haven't got no tidbits yet because I haven't sat down and talked with them on STP. Now we're getting some tidbits and getting all the pieces coming together here. Okay, now it makes some sense here. Uh,
Yep.
Kevin Landry's combine. We've had amazing, countless amazing times at one Landry's combine. Did you ever go to the previous spot, or you've only been to where they are now, the present spot?
This is actually the only spot I've actually been to. I've never been to their other spot.
Okay.
I've always like wanted to go to there and see how it was, but then I heard that we like kind of lost touch with that. I heard or possibly lost touch with that area, so I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll feel comfortable more over here now that I'm building it over here.
Yeah, not no for sure because once you move, you got to just keep going.
Right.
Kick out at two and keep going. Um, now, uh, how or like okay, I'll put it this way: you want to get into wrestling, you start getting on the old face page or Twitter or whatever you're searching on. Is Kevin Landry's the first school you come across, and why Kevin Landry's?
So when I first started, like, and I was seeking out for training, I had communications with other people already, kind of like sort of that were already in the business, and I like they helped me find trying to find a training facility that I could work at or I could train at, and it just so happened to be that it was Kevin Landry's combine.
Oh, nice. Uh, did you know? Because you're a younger guy. Did you know of Kevin Landry and the history of his career at all before coming into the combine?
Oh, most definitely. Like once I heard it was Kevin Landry, I immediately went up and looked it up on YouTube just to watch some couple matches of Kevin. Like back then matches, like I watched his British Bulldog match probably like 3-4 times. I was like, this is great. Like this is great.
And I mean, we all get older, obviously, but tell me, he's as jacked as ever nowadays in the present time. I mean, you look back at some of his older stuff. Does he look different? Yes. His physique is a little bit different. Yes, but he's still jacked. I've seen him wrestle Paul Roma at Foxwoods at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling.
Wow.
I shit you not. In the leopard speedo. Are you shitting me right now? I mean, come on. I mean, holy shit. Whenever I seen this culminate, it was PAPW's. They did 2 shows at Foxwood, and it was their first show. And whenever I seen Kevin Landry come through, he's this beast of a man. And he's got this tiny ass fucking leopard speedo on. And my dad, I was taking my dad to all the shows at that time. My dad, don't tell nobody, especially Kevin. Like, secret between me and you only, please. My dad was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? And can it get any tighter? What is he wearing? His underwear over there?" And I just let my dad go. I mean, what am I gonna stop my dad? And yeah, I think I may have that on my YouTube channel. I don't know if I was recording full matches or nothing, but I'll have to kind of poke around and look for that because I may have still pictures. He's a jacked MFer, one Kevin Landry still.
He's a big dude. He's a really big muscular dude. Like when I'm around him and see him in person, like, and I watch his matches, I'll look at him and be like, damn, you really never lost that like muscle. Like that muscle is still there. It's like that didn't go nowhere, dude.
And the reason why I bring it up is because we see some of the older athletes from the 80s and 90s and such nowadays that may not look so put together, if you will, as one Kevin Landry, who keeps his physique up and all of that. So it's good to see a guy like Kevin Landry, one of the older cats, still really put together and didn't let himself go. But I'm not saying that that's what happens with all of them, because once you stop that workout regimen, the physique kind of just starts disappearing all on its own. You know, I mean, if you kind of recently, if I had to go modern example, I would go, what's popping around right now? Batista. There's a side-by-side with Batista in his suit, right? And he's looking all kind of slim and trim, but then they show the big old beast Batista next to him. That guy don't work out on a regular basis, probably, and his body has naturally slimmed down, you know?
I think it's just being an actor now and kind of like not having to worry about being in such great shape for every movie. He's kind of like Leslie tried to put such more body tear on him and work out.
And it's not only lifting the weights and doing a regimen of workout, it's also the way you live with your eating. It changes. Now you don't have to eat like that. And I mean, sometimes you can turn into a fat bastard, or because those guys, to keep that kind of tone, that kind of muscle mass, the calories that they eat is off the charts. I mean, I eat like a fucking bird. I eat probably like a Gerber baby, for Christ's sake. I mean, I weigh shit. So I don't eat a whole lot of calories. And these big boys, they eat a lot of calories, and they have a regimen of eating. And I credit. And that's why I think a portion of why I kind of in awe of wrestling in itself, because of it's part of their livelihood. They have to watch their diet. They have to have a regimen. They have to do all of this stuff to become a wrestler around their real fucking life.
Yep.
So it's a lot to take on. That brings me to this. And I know I'm kind of rambling a little bit.
You're good.
We talk about support system a lot on STP, because without it, whether you're a football player, any type of athlete, but wrestling is one of these things that I really focus on. Without a support system, it's really tough to do this shit on your own. So Jay Cruz, Ref Jay Cruz, I absolutely love, and I met your mom. She was talking about how you are the best referee in the planet and blah, blah, blah. And I never knew who you were. I never knew who she was. It was at a CPW, Coliseum Pro Wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And your mom was fucking talking you up like you were the greatest referee, even like in WWE at this moment in time. And after the fact, we introduced and all of that stuff, and we got to know each other and whatnot. I absolutely love seeing the families come out, talk to us, the fans, because we don't know these things.
Right.
Talk to us, the fans, what it means to you going to these shows and getting some, maybe mom's a little extra at times, because that's what parents are, though. That's what parents do. Don't blame her. That's what parents do. But the support that you see with your eyes, feel with your heart, when mom is at the shows.
She's how do I put this way? She's not just my supporter. She's my number one fan when it comes to what I do. She's my number one fan. Like, if I ever said I didn't want to, I said I wanted to stop doing this, she would try to convince me in every way possible to make me not stop doing this. Because like me growing up being a wrestling fan, that was her too. She grew up liking wrestling too, so having a son that kind of like branched off and like the wrestling too, and then got the chance to become something, kind of like brightened her, like made her happy more. And it was like, I got my son's actually doing something that like I like too, that we both like. So
That's
it was
awesome.
like it fit in and stuff. So like she's my number one fan at all my shows. She might sit there sometimes quietly, but she don't sit there quietly when it comes to some of the wrestlers. I know that. There'll be
Uh,
times I'll have to tell her after show, I'll be like, Mom, you gotta calm down a little bit. You gotta calm down a little bit. Like you're gonna get me in trouble one of these days.
uh, that was kind of like my dad when I first started bringing him to the shows, because I mean, I've played in a band. You get on that live stage. I'm the guy in our band, headbanging constantly. I'm moving. I'm swaying. By the time we play 3 sets a night, we play 3 1-hour sets, 12 songs on an average. By the time that first set is done, my man, I look like I just got out of the fucking shower. There are some guys that will just, it's almost like they put an X on the live stage and they don't move from that spot the entire night. Not me. So I'm not saying that I like the spotlight. I just like to have fun. So when I'm at wrestling, I'm not looking for the spotlight. I'm just having fun. It just happened that people have latched on to whatever I'm putting out at some of the wrestling shows. So my pop, he's not a spotlight guy. He's not a, woo and a boo kind of guy. So when I started bringing him to the shows, he would be like, would you just shut the fuck up? So I can feel what you're saying to Mom, to Mama Cruz. But the support is absolutely amazing. And I love it.
Yes.
Every time I see her, she's always recording. She's got to make sure that she's catching her baby boy. I don't know if you're her baby boy, but I'll just say it anyways. And seeing, what's
Yeah,
that, Mom?
yeah. She likes to say that, but I like to I like to try to like make her not go around saying that so much, because it's like, I need you to just be my mom. I don't need you to go around telling people I'm your baby boy still. Like, I appreciate it, but no, it's all right. I love her.
Well, again, that's what parents do.
Yeah,
Uh,
gotta embarrass
uh,
their kids.
she's having a lot of fun though at the show. So she's kind of living through one Jay Cruz at this point, just a smidge, just a teeny bit, because as you mentioned, she is a wrestling fan, so she's having just a little extra fun seeing her son and doing his thing. So it's got to be really cool for both of you. I mean, really, really fun stuff.
She's always trying to record. She always tries to record the whole entire show if she possibly can. Like, if it's possible for her, she'll sit there with her phone and literally record the whole entire show. Just for me to try to watch it after, and I'll be like, oh, I appreciate that, but like, you don't gotta sit there and record the whole entire show. Like, just do the match. Just do the simple matches that like you need to do. I was like, I get it. You like the other wrestlers too. I was like, I get that. I was like, but I need the tape too.
Right now, I'll ask you the same question I like to ask basically every single person on the show. People record your matches, one being Mom. You have the Fogman that's out there. You have myself. You have Rick Del Santo. He used to be a regular out there, but now you have Eric Smith. His name is Uncle Otis. I like
Yep.
to call him Uncle Potato because he does the potatoes, but I like to take the uncle and the potato, squash them together. So you have people that are kind of going to these shows regularly and doing footage and such. Do you, as a referee, either go to your mom's footage or any of the other footage that's available and kind of see your matches back to see, could I have done that different? I should have done this different, or I did that really well. I'm glad I did it that way. Or do you look back and kind of critique your own matches through footage?
I actually do, and I don't have a specific person I go through. Like, it's specifically just who was there at the show that
Right.
I know was recording. Like, if I know you're like, if for instance, for Tough and Talented, when I worked for Tough and Talented, and you were there, I saw you recording. So once you posted it, I was like, okay, and I have a way to watch it.
Yeah.
Like, that's morely what it's about. Like, I just like looking to see who's recording at the show, and then I either go up to them and ask them, hey man, can you send me my matches, or obviously like they already post them.
Mm-hmm. I know talents are their own worst are their own worst critics, and they can come down on themselves pretty tough.
Yeah.
So, I applaud you and I appreciate you looking back at footage to give a look. Not every talent does, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Me personally, I find it as an odd thing that, and maybe they don't look, maybe they do not watch every single match. They may check out a few here and there, but for the most part, some of the talent doesn't really look at all of their matches to kind of critique and check on things. I kind of find it a little odd. So I was just figuring, I'd pose a question as well, because sometimes you get a different answer. You never know. Again, you're a younger guy. Do you know who this is right here? Because this is a specific shirt. L Ref 123.
I actually do. I actually, he comes up in my recommendation on Facebook for my friends. So
Oh,
I have seen him, and I have like seen other promotions that have booked him. So like there's been a couple of times where I've actually like went on YouTube and seen his matches.
okay. L Ref is. We were dear friends, and then he wanted to choke slam me for like a year or two, and then his papa, his padre, El Ref, or Senor Ref, he came into the picture out of retirement, and he came down on one El Ref, his son, his hijo, and he said, "Hey, listen, you need to calm down on Don Quique. He's a good guy. You need to calm down." So we became good friends again, all due to Senor Ref. Out of the two, Senor and or El Ref, I gotta say, another secret. Senor Ref has got to be my favorite of the two, because he did bring back my El Ref. I was missing my El Ref an awful lot. But the reason why I did wear this, there was two reasons. Because it matched my previous shirt that I wore for my previous guest this evening, being Stephen Baker, aka Leon the Sixth. It was a Frostin' 316 for round one Ryan Frost, and this was basically the same thing. And it says in the back, El Ref 316 says, I just something. I forget exactly what it says. He's gonna shoot me for not knowing what it says. But I absolutely love me some El Ref to pieces. I really do. I bust his ass and shit, and he busts my ass. We've had a lot of fun over the years, but that dude is so big and so jacked.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
And he has the absolute loudest count I think I have ever heard in the entire universe.
I've watched, when I'm watching some of his matches, like that's where I get like hearing, like you said, he's loud with his counts. That's where I get a lot of like some of my matches, like my loud adrenaline from. Like I'll watch other referees, and some of them I'll notice that they're loud and like show a lot of adrenaline in their counts and when they yell. So I was like, all right, if that really will like pops out in the crowd and stuff, then I'm gonna start trying to do that and see how that works. And then I started doing that, and then, one thing came another. Now it's kind of like my thing.
You can see that you give energy to it when you're counting. You know what I'm saying? It's a little nuance in the toolbox, if you will. So what you're saying right now here on STP is that El Ref influenced one Ref Jay Cruz just a smidge?
I would say, yeah. I've watched some matches where I've actually I've taken a little bit from him and like used it. There's a lot of referees I could say I've like taken a little bit of little tease from their like how they do their things and used it in my own way.
Okay. Well, normally I hate to bring this guy up, but we've kind of turned a page.
I know who it is.
That's one Ref Q, as everybody calls him, which is absolutely wrong, and I absolutely love it. Q the Ref would be the correct name. Me and him, again, talk about a turbulent relationship / friendship. Holy shit sticks. Now, one Ref Q, now I'm going to start calling him Ref Q all fucking time. He has quite the style about him, if you will. He's a small jack dude, and I don't mean to, like not Mitch. I don't mean to, bust his balls like that, but he's a smaller guy in height, but he's a jack dude. He keeps fit. He goes to the gym regularly because a referee is not an easy fucking job, boys and girls.
No.
You've got to have some kind of fitness in you. You can't just get in there after your 9 to 5, jump into the ring and think you can pull this shit off.
It's a lot of cardio.
Yes. And I mean, even if you had some type of training or what have you, you just can't do that shit. You've got to have some type of something going on.
Yeah.
One Q the Ref, he's got a style about him. What I like is when, and everybody's got their own thing, when they get in the wrestlers' faces, when they have to kind of get their weight in there a little bit and, and pull their weight and be like, I'm the referee. Q gets all big old chested. He gets up and he's got this face and he'll tell you what's up and blah, blah, blah. I've busted his balls over the years and he's busted my balls over the years. Q's got a good style about him and his reffing. Have you ever seen anything that's attracted you from Q the Ref?
Of course, yes, of course. Q, I definitely I look at when I work shows and he's at the shows, I definitely seek out to Q for advice during the show. I'll ask him after one of my matches because obviously I know either he possibly has the match after me or he's there watching it. So I'll ask him. I'm like, hey Q, is there anything you would give me advice on what to do better in this match? And it was there's always times where he would give me the advice and that's what it is. There's just mutual respect between me and him that we're able to work with each other so well and it makes us be able to work well together as a ref duo.
The peers. That's what we talk about. Peers helping peers. You're a younger generation. He's an older generation. He's been around for a few years in the business already. I believe 5 years at this point. Jay Cruz, he hasn't been around that long, and there's a little mentorship, if you will, because he is a Kevin Landry's guy. That's where he started.
Yep, that is true.
Now, and I know, we kind of go back and forth here, but having a facility such as the Combine over there, because there's a gym, there's a lot of equipment and such, being a spot to go, not only to train, but be able to have a workout place to go. That's got to be very, very cool, yeah?
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. It's very nice to be able to just sometimes transition from practice and go to the gym and go work out. A lot of times, I'll go to my personal gym, when I want to go to the gym. But if I'm already here, then why not? I'll use the gym here.
Yeah.
It's all about kind of in the moment to me, because I do like to work out. I'm not gonna say I'm not a referee that does like to be in shape, because I definitely possibly try to be in shape as much as possible.
Yeah.
But otherwise, being in the gym, I'll take any opportunity of being in the gym. This gym, my gym, it don't really matter to me.
Nice. There was a guy that was out of Kevin Landry's Combine named Chris Cannon. I don't know if you've about him at all, but holy shit, what a talent. I wish he was still around. Not that he's, gone. He's just not in wrestling. I mean, he's still with us. I didn't make it. I didn't want to sound like he's passed away. Right. Chris Cannon would have been one hell of a talent, my man. Oh my God, this dude was talk about a beast. Holy shit. This dude was a beast. Holy shit. But Kevin Landry's Combine, they have some talent over there. They have new students that are upcoming right now. So that is one of the facilities that we actually, you know what? I don't know if I've ever mentioned it more than a few times when we talk about if you're looking for a place to go start training as an aspiring wrestler or referee or such. So this is another one, boys and girls, to add to the list. If we haven't mentioned it before, Kevin Landry's Combine, and I know we've mentioned the Combine because of Shut Up and Wrestle and whatnot, but training facility over there, over in Holyoke, Massachusetts. So give that a look up if you're, looking to become an aspiring wrestler. One Jay Cruz, we're like almost an hour deeper, just shy of about 15 minutes or so. It looks like it's getting a little darker over there on One Jay.
It is getting a little darker over here. I'm trying to get the light under me a little more so I can be a little more on the brighter side.
No, you are good, my man, because we have talked so much of one Ref Jay Cruz in such a short amount of time. I feel that we've gotten to know you a wee bit better than we ever did just going at the shows, taking a selfie every so often, interacting in and out the ring there. Because like I say, we don't get these conversations when we're at the merch tables or when it's during intermission and we start chit-chatting. These kind of conversations don't happen. So I really appreciate your time for coming on here and chatting with us, the fans of Cernapot and such, and of local wrestling, because you're one of these young guys that I love. I love the young talent that are upcoming. I want to see them evolve, them to get better. And you said about a year deep right now in your tenureship as a referee, correct?
I think it's about to be a year deep pretty much now. It's about to be a year deep pretty much.
Have you ever been on an interview? Is this your first one, or what are we talking?
So this would be my first one like this. I did. Okay. I don't know if you consider kind of like doing the little interview that I did at one of my shows in the past with Uncle Otis at one point, sort of something. But it wasn't like what I did with Uncle Otis was like try to like get more shows, let people know what more shows I'm gonna be at.
Right. I did because I don't. I heard him ask a question, but I thought there was something else, and then I thought he was asking, and then you started answering. I go, man, I've been smoking a lot of weed because I did not follow that at all. But it was a promo with One Jay Cruz over at Legend Sports Bar, wasn't it? Wasn't it not?
Yes, it was PAPW.
Oh, at PAPW, not Legends. I'm sorry, not that Legend. It was at PAPW.
Nope, PAPW.
Uncle Otis.
My debut at PAPW. That was.
Oh, okay. So you debuted and did a promo. That's pretty straight.
Yep.
Uncle Otis, he's a lot of fun. He gets a little, he puts on a little outfit and stuff, and he starts to embrace what wrestling is out there, and he's a good guy. He's a newer guy out there. So boys and girls, that's another guy. Eric Smith is his, I guess we'll say, shoot name. So check him out. He goes again as Uncle Otis, doing a recording, still photos, promos, interviews. He's kind of doing it all.
I think it's called The Potato. I could be right.
When he does interviews, those short little promo interviews, those are called The Potato.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I just so that's why I just fuck with him and I call him Uncle Potato. But that's another guy, boys and girls. Look him up, check his stuff out. He's been starting to go to a lot of the shows. But before we do let you go, Ref Jay Cruz, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you thought we would maybe have a topic of, or something that you wanted to talk about that I haven't asked? Because we've covered a lot of material here.
I don't know, like, I mean, if you would like me to let you know what kind of upcoming shows I'm going to be at, for anybody that possibly could watch this, I could let somebody know what possible shows I could be at coming up. I could do that if you would like.
Definitely. That's bringing us to the tail end, because there's a couple things that we ask of our talent. One of them is upcoming shows. A second one is, I know you're short tenure right now, being only about a year, but if you can think of a little story of any kind on the road, at a store, at a restaurant with the boys, during training, that could make us tickle just a little bit, that would be fantastic. If you don't have one, that's okay too. So give us some upcoming shows and maybe a little story that can make us all, ha-ha a little bit on our way out.
All right, I could do that. So we're going in September. So I have 2 shows in September so far right now that I know of. We have Planet Pro Wrestling, which is with Dijak and John Cena's father on the card, which is going to be.
And it's for Wishes for Wheels. They do this once a year. It's all for charity. Bobby Ocean is the current champion, hard hitting Bobby Ocean. John Cena Sr. comes out to these events every single year.
Yes, he does. Sorry. And then we got our exclusive with now we got our exclusive with Jack this year. To add on to the big card, we got. So Planet is, I think, if I'm right, I think I know I'm right. I could be right, but I think it's on the 15th.
Okay.
I think it's on the 15th. Yeah, it's the 15th. Yeah, I just looked at my other thing. It's the 15th. On the 14th, I'm back at Coliseum. We're back at Coliseum. Yep, we're back in New Haven at Coliseum.
Okay.
Those are my two big shows coming up in September.
Nice.
Then we move, and then I think I might have one so far booked in October.
Ooh.
Like it might. I'm not gonna really announce it. I'm not gonna say it just yet because I don't know if that promotion has fully confirmed on that being the date and stuff. You have been to the promotion, so you will probably end up figuring out what date it was when they pop out the flyer on Facebook or stuff.
All right. So now we can check out Jay Cruz at these promotions. CPW being Coliseum Pro Wrestling out of West Haven normally. Did you say New Haven for CPW?
Yes, I think it might be West Haven actually.
Okay. There's some good times down there. Right now, the current champion would be Sean Knight, one half of the Haven. Sean Knight. He's been doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, he is. He's also part of, like you said, like you were saying, he's also part of Haven. That brought me up. That reminded me actually on September. I think it's September 24th. Test of Strength Dojo. I'm booked over there too. Because as of right now, I am fully now as a referee on the TOS roster now.
Oh, really?
As of right now, yes. Yes.
Excellent.
As of right now, I fully made the way into the TOS roster as a referee, which is I'm honored. It's an honor and privilege. I put my work in the last two shows, and the opportunity came to me, and I took it.
They seen what you brought to the table. They liked what they saw. That's awesome, man. I applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you have a little story that you could tell us before we go?
Why not? I think there is one story that I had on the road. I actually might have had one on the road with Major, actually. Okay. I think when me and Major were on our way up to one of our promotions in like near Boston area, I think it was on the way back home. We were sitting on the way back home, like, and it was like mad traffic, like just long traffic and stuff. And me and Major just sitting here like just laughing and going and just wondering, and we're like, I wonder what time we're gonna get home at. Like, I wonder what time we're gonna get home at. Just all sitting here, and then by the corner of our eye, we look over, and like we look over, and then there's just like a bunch of people like standing over there, and he's like, "What the heck?" And he goes, "When was there a concert?" I'm like, maybe it wasn't a concert, maybe it was a baseball game. And like, just to like, the funny part about it is like when we both found out what it was, we both felt like so stupid. We were like, wait, no way, it was that the whole entire time. Like, it ended up being like a whole car show type thingy or something, or like some or like some concert. We were like, there's no way that we both got that wrong. Like we felt like so special, and we were like, wait, what? But it's always, that's why I always like traveling with Major, because there's always like something fun that we experience on the way there or on the way back.
He definitely looks like he could be some fun. I see that himself as a referee. He's been hitting the gym, doing some stuff and trying to, like we were saying before, not only the athletes have to, be fit, the referees have to kind of not keep up with them, but they still got to be fit out there. Jay Cruz, we've had a hell of a time with you, but before we let you go, I need your handles. So the boys and girls and promoters can check out Jay Cruz, maybe see some footage attached to his name and such. So give us, your Twitter, your face page, your Pornhub, if you've got one of those, whatever you've got. Throw to us.
I mainly use my Facebook, so that goes under that would go under, if everybody knows it, just look up the name. I'll put this out here. It goes just going under my first name. It is under my first name. So as of being known as Jay, I'll let people know this. My first name is Jason.
Okay.
So that's pretty like kind of obvious too when you put Jay and Jason together. Kind of, it's like an obvious thing that they're gonna be called Jason. But that's if you search up Jason. Once you search up Jason on Facebook, my ref photo will pop up. The one of me and the blue shirt and the bow tie.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure that will be one of the ones that pop up like at the top. So like you don't even have to search up the rest of my name. It literally just search up the first part of my name and it pops up.
All right. Awesome. Maybe a promoter again. We'll check this out, or one of our friends that are out there as a wrestler may see this and be like, "Hey, we need a referee for X8. Why don't we check out this kid?" You never ever know, my friend. That's why you never know who's watching.
And that would be great. That would be a great privilege.
Yes, I appreciate your time for talking to us, the fans, taking out of your life.
Thank you.
And everything.
Thank you.
We've had a hell of a time, boys and girls, learning about one of the newer refs on our local scene, doing a hell of a job out there. Thank you one more time, Jay Cruz. You've been awesome tonight. I appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you to you too, man. Thank you to you too. I appreciate it for letting me be on here with you.
Absolutely. Good times with Jay Cruz on STP.
Yep.
This is Stirring the Pot with Don Kincaid and our very special guest. He's very in the dark, but he's still there. Is referee Jay Cruz.
Yes. Thank you, Don. Thank you.